When you got celebrities in the building, you got to make sure they on point. All right. What up, beautiful people? It's your boy, Kenyatta Banks, back in the building. You know what it is. Inside the Arsenal. I'm here, you here, we here. You know how we do. Anyways, got celebrity in the building, young Serina, who I just met, actually, recently. And she punched this boxing bag so hard that I was like, you should come be on my podcast. And here we are.
Yeah, here we are on the podcast. Actually, when I first started going boxing, I was like, okay, this boxing class is actually going really well. That was my first time joining his class. And I thought, I liked your vibe with the whole you versus you and, basically fitting that mind and mental aspect into your training. So I was like, okay, I feel like we're on the same type of vibe. And that's kind of what I'm working with my business, Mind Body Gains Fitness. So I was like, okay, I feel like I can see us doing some sort of collab together. So it kind of worked out.
That's why you wore the same outfit as me?
Oh, it just happened to unexpectedly match.
We had the same outfit on, like head to toe, socks included. Because I only wear black socks.
Yeah, I mean.
Only.
I do the majority of the time. Sometimes I'll wear white socks,
but we was flowing like it was like this color, the green.
Yeah, I was wearing green top, black leggings, black socks, green shoes. I was like, we're twinning.
Yeah, and I didn't even, like, you said it and I didn't even recognize it. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I looked and I was like, wait, down to the socks and the shoes?
Yeah, so of course you had to take a picture right after.
Yeah, I had to do that one time for the gram.
Exactly.
So, because people don't know, right? And I don't even know really. I know a little bit, but like you brought up your fitness business and whatever, but where does this stem from? Like, was you always working out? How do we get here? Like, what is the pre-story?
So I just recently turned 22 and I've been working out.
My favorite number. Okay.
I've been working out since I was 13. I started working out. I used to see my mom working out all the time, so that was kind of motivating to me and inspirational. I had my ups and downs throughout my whole fitness journey from starting from 13. As soon as I started, I would be like on and off. It was not easy. I started off doing the Jillian Michael workouts, actually.
That's funny. Ready and.
Yeah.
Ready and.
It was definitely a challenge for me at first. A lot of the times people see where I am now and how far I've gotten. They're like, oh, like you're really good. But yeah, you didn't see all the work that I put into all the challenges and struggles that I went through in terms of, my fitness. I became kind of obsessed with fitness at one point in, I guess, an unhealthy way. I would go and work out. I would spend like 2-3 hours at the gym. Sometimes I'd go like twice a day. Sometimes I would go to the gym like 7-8 times a week straight. I would try and balance my diet out. It was like literally all over the place. I tried like all these diets. I would go with like a super high protein diet, or I would do like barely eating any sweets. Like I've tried everything. And I realized that did not help me because I was still not losing weight. I was not where I wanted to be in terms of my fitness goals. And I would always kind of, look up to media and see like, oh, why don't I look like that? How come I can't get that like type of body? And that's just the stigma we have behind media nowadays, that you have to look a certain way. But it's continuously evolving for sure. And I just kind of finally found that balance, I would say more recently, when I decided to kind of like go more in tune with myself. I meditate a lot, and meditation is what actually helped me lose weight as well, because a lot of the energy that I was holding, it wasn't actual fat, it was stress. And obviously when you carry stress inside of you, that's low energy. So I would always feel like I was bloated all the time. I would have my hangry moments too. Like, you don't want to look at me, you don't want to talk to me, nothing. That's how it would be.
Mad at the world.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, this is not working out at all. So meditating really helped me a lot in that sense. I would do meditations for my like solar plexus chakra, my sacral chakra, my root chakra. So if you guys are not familiar with that, we have 7 energy centers in the body. I've heard that there's more, but those are the main 7 ones. So your root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus, your heart, your throat, and third eye, and your crown chakra. Each one is related to a different type of energy that you carry within your body. So learning more about them and the side effects with each, associated with each chakra, I realized that the energy that I was holding in was energy of like, I guess you can say not having that self-love towards myself or my body. So I realized that the element for that was the fire element. And that was through one of the guided meditations that I would do. So it's like imagine yourself feeling like fire in that area, which is like around your stomach area, and clearing that energy. So when I would continuously do that, I felt like a huge relief mentally and physically. And then I started to kind of ease off. And then I actually saw the results that I was putting in, like from the hours of working out in the gym.
So how long do you technically or typically meditate for?
It really depends. Sometimes I'll meditate for like 10 minutes. Sometimes I'll meditate for an hour. The longest meditation I did was for 4 hours. Yeah, so.
You mean a nap?
No, I was awake during
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah, it was actually at a workshop that I went to. I've been to a few meditation workshops, so it was definitely a good experience for sure. And yeah, meditation has just really helped me in terms of my fitness. And like I said, when I kind of just finally found that balance of how to work with my body, what works best for me in terms of my nutrition and in terms of my fitness, I was able to actually finally see the results that I wanted to. And I don't even like to say diet because a lot of people associate diet with restricting yourself with food, but I always tell people it's a lifestyle that you're creating, so it's important to have that balance and know what works best for you and your body.
Yeah. So did you ever like play sports growing up or?
No, actually, I used to try out for sports, but I never would make the team.
Really?
Yeah, I actually used to not like running either. So I remember I tried out for track before. I tried out for basketball. And actually, a lot of people don't know this. When I was younger, in like high school, middle school, I used to hate anything gym related. I actually used to.
Was that like rebellious? Because you say your mom was like always. So your parents are like in the gym.
No, my mom.
Your
like she would do like
she
would do like at home workout stuff. It wasn't anything rebellious. I enjoyed working out with her, but when it would come to going to gym class at school, it was like a big no for me. I would literally find different excuses. I would write myself notes to get out of my gym classes. They were like, okay, we're running 2 miles today. Oh, I can't, I have asthma. I can't run.
Oh, man, asthma.
I always sit through that asthma card. Yeah, I just did not like anything sports related, like in terms of like gym class. I used to love the idea of sports, but more playing it for fun. Did I ever know the rules? Not really, but yeah.
So, and now, because I mean, I have video of you hitting a bag.
Yeah.
A heavy bag with a lot of force and energy and greatness. And so how long have you been boxing for?
I started boxing a year ago. Before that, I boxed for like a few months. Then I stopped and just continued going to just the gym and doing my own types of workouts. Then I decided to go back to boxing because I'm like, oh, I really miss boxing. It was a lot of fun. So I started, it's been like a year. And I've been more consistent. I try to go at least 3 times a week.
Okay. And that's 3 times a week at the pound, or you?
Yeah, at the pound.
Okay.
And then on the side, I'll do my own workouts. I'll either work out at my gym in the apartment complex, or I'll go to the other gyms that I'm signed up in. Yeah.
So she got hands. Sincerely These Hands. If Sincerely These Hands was a poster child, this is the poster child. Just so y'all know. So as far as types of workouts, then what do you really like? Okay, we got boxing out the way. We know that. I like HIIT workouts. I feel like it definitely burns a lot of calories. If I'm not sweating during my workout, then I feel like I did not get a good workout in. I have to have my heart rate up. I just love to challenge my mind and my body. So what keeps me also motivated while I'm working out is I'll listen to motivational music. I like it when they're like basically yelling at you in the song or whatever I'm listening to and telling you like, just keep going, like you're not gonna die, just keep pushing through it, all that stuff. Like you don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done type of thing. And because I've listened to a lot of those, I can listen to music, regular music, or just listen to myself, and that's just constantly replaying through my mind. It's like it's in my subconscious now. So I would definitely say HIIT workouts. I love resistance bands. I used to do resistance bands before, but honestly, once the whole quarantine started, I had to do at-home workouts.
I came up with a lot of different exercises to do with that. And I feel like that's what helped me lose a lot of fat, gain more muscle, and just build more strength and endurance with the types of workouts I would incorporate with the resistant bands.
You talking about like the bands with the handles, or you talking about
All of them.
just
Yeah.
long as they're a band? You like,
Yeah, I have like
want it.
I have like the small bands, the long ones, the ones with the handles. So I incorporate all of those in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, and because you have a business or a
Yes.
brand.
It's both.
It's
I
both.
have my business registered, and
Okay.
it's my brand. So it's called Mind Body Gains Fitness, like I mentioned earlier. And the whole element and background behind that is that your mental gains need to come in place first before you have your physical gains. So that's why it's called mind, body, and then you get the gains afterwards. So it's important to realize that anything that you want to do, you have to kind of mentally prepare yourself for it. And you're not always going to be mentally prepared. So you have to just show up, start putting in the work, and then that's when everything will start to follow through. So whether it's like daily affirmations, like saying like I am strong or I am whatever. I think the words I am are very, very powerful words.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what is really the drive behind the mind, is pushing your best, pushing to your best potential and furthering past that. Because as in essence, you don't really have too many limitations. The only limitations that you have are the ones that you set for yourself in your mind. Because what you're doing, somebody else is doing even more out there. And you might want to get to where they are at that point. And you're like, oh, I don't know if I can actually get there or not. Or like, what makes you different than them? Nothing, besides that they're putting in more effort. They're showing up every day. They're disciplined. They're consistent. Versus you might be putting in part of that effort, you might be putting in part of that work, but if you actually want to get to where you want to be, you have to push yourself, be more consistent, be more disciplined, whether that's waking up an hour earlier, going to sleep an hour later. If you want something, you really have to sacrifice something else for it.
Sacrifice is a good word. I think it's a word that people don't really like.
Yeah.
And they don't really, I say understand, they don't really understand why it's necessary for whatever you want, right? Mm-hmm. So ultimately for your business, then what is, like, where are you at with it right now? And what's like your next goal, or what is the bigger picture for what you do?
So I recently started it. It's been almost a year. It'll be a year in September. That's when I got my business registered and everything. But I really started putting in the work and effort, honestly, I would say in February. Once the whole quarantine started, I was able to get a little bit more time on my hands since school had moved to online. I wasn't wasting like an hour or two just driving and transportations and stuff. So right now, I'm currently just branding myself and the way I'm doing it is by creating a community, by motivating others, inspiring others. And I always tell people fitness obviously is a lifestyle. It's not something that you just do one day and then that's it, or for a set period of time and then you finish. So I incorporate in my business. So I do like you said, motivation. I'll do like a lot of live videos and I talk about different topics and bring other people on there. So I will talk about like relationships. We'll talk about nutrition, about fitness, about spirituality.
Pause. What do you know about relationships at 22?
Relationships with anything, relationships with yourself,
there's
relationships.
I have to ask because the people at home gonna be like, man, she's 22, she don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, everything in life is a relationship. First thing, the relationship starts with yourself. If you can't build a relationship with yourself, don't expect to build one with somebody else. Whether I'm 22 or not, I don't care. But that's just straight facts right there, honestly. So first, you have to have a relationship with yourself. And you have to get to know yourself, date yourself before going out there and trying to date other people, trying to figure out yourself.
So when you say date yourself, I'm trying to play, I don't like the word devil's advocate. I'm trying to play angel's advocate. So when you say date yourself to someone out there that's listening, what does that mean?
So basically, go out with yourself. A lot of the times people are afraid to go out by themselves.
Like go to the movies alone?
Yeah, like go to the movies alone. Go out and eat.
It took me a long time before I ever did that, but go ahead.
Yeah, like go out to the movies alone. Go out and eat by yourself. So many people are just so ingrained that they have to be with somebody, even if it's a friend. to just go out and eat somewhere. They're like, oh, I really want to go eat there, but nobody wants to go with me, and then they don't go.
I'm hungry, I'm going.
Yeah, exactly. So why would you limit yourself when you can go? So many people are out there eating by themselves. No one really cares if you're by yourself or not, realistically. People are paying attention to themselves and their food. They're hungry. So I think it's important to date yourself in that aspect, to go out with yourself. Self-reflection is also super important. A lot of the times we get so caught up in society, and we just get so caught up in this daily life routine that we have, that we're not actually going back and self-reflecting and seeing, one, what we learned that day, two, did you really do something beneficial for yourself? And if you also came across something that you may have not liked or something that irritated you, are you doing something about that? So in other words, are you actually releasing that energy from your body? Because a lot of the times we'll get so irritated, and whether it's a workplace or at somebody or anything, and you don't take a step back to realize that that's not your energy that you're holding in and you're feeling. That's not your emotions. That's somebody else's energy and somebody else's emotions that you're carrying onto yourself. So then that is going to affect you. It's not going to affect anybody else. So it's important to realize that you need to also reflect onto what you came across that day and release that from your field of energy as well.
So what do you think, or what do you do about triggers? What do you know about triggers?
Like if somebody triggered me, I would say sometimes I might get irritated, like the first,
if you're hungry.
Yeah, if I'm, but actually, you know what? I've gotten a lot better at that. Like I said, I used to be.
No, she's not hungry, bro. We good. If she hungry, don't say nothing. Don't even look.
No, actually, I've gotten way better than that with that. So I used to get very triggered. I used to have my hangry moments, but I still do every now and then. But I've learned to master myself more, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna eat in a little bit anyways. Me throwing my frustration at myself or anybody that's around me is not gonna do anything. Just gonna make everybody annoyed and irritated. So I've learned to be more calm with that. I've definitely come a long way.
Good. I know some people at home like, man, she punched me in the face one time. I remember. I seen the hook.
Yeah, but I would say if somebody triggered me, my first instinct, depending on the situation of how I'm getting triggered, might be like getting annoyed. But I take a quick reflection back in and realize that how they're reacting is a reflection of them, and their feelings and emotions at that moment has nothing to do with me. So I kind of almost imagine a bubble around me. So to protect my energy, I imagine almost like a dome that no one's entering into my field of energy. It's just my energy spreading positivity. Whatever they're saying is just bouncing right off of the ball.
So while you're inside of this ball, do you have a mask on?
No.
Okay, just checking. Just asking for a friend over there. So I'm just wanting to know. That's a good perspective. I feel like, because essentially I just met you.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, we did basically.
But a vibe is a vibe, no matter what, right? And so I'm like, at 22, then who was like your target market? Because most 22-year-olds don't speak how you speak. As far as I know, I don't know. I'm not really around a bunch of 22-year-olds. Assume that. I know at 22, I wasn't thinking about none of this stuff.
Yeah. I would say at first I tried to specify a specific target market, but then I realized that trying to specify a specific target market is going to limit me from probably reaching out to other people. And the things that I'm saying and the things that I'm preaching about are just general things to inspire, to motivate. So that's everybody. So I would say my target audience is whoever wants to be motivated, whoever is looking to make a change in their lifestyle. That's my target audience. I don't care if you're 10 years old. I don't care if you're 80 years old. I've always been around older people most of my life, honestly. And I've been to a lot of different, like I said, workshops and everything. And I meet people of all different age groups. And I started doing this when I was like 18. So I don't have a specific target audience. I feel like I learned how to talk to different people, no matter whatever age they're at or anything like that. And
so are you native of Arizona?
No, I actually moved out to Arizona 4 years ago from Maryland.
From B-more?
Yep.
What?
Yeah,
I got family out there.
Yeah, Maryland's okay. I wouldn't really care to go back.
Hold, watch your mouth. I got family out there. I just said.
Yeah, I have people out there too.
Okay, I'm just saying. My cousins ain't gonna like what you got to say about B-more.
So I was born and raised in Maryland. I was there until half of sophomore year. And then after my parents got divorced, I moved out to the Middle East for a year and
Okay,
a half.
pause. So you lived in where at in the Middle East?
Kuwait.
How was that?
It was a whole different experience, honestly. Even though I am Middle Eastern, it was still a cultural shock because obviously I was born and raised in the States.
You was born in Maryland.
Yeah.
Who was from Kuwait?
My dad had family back there.
So, but you're national, because you have a distinct look. Right?
Yeah, I'm Middle Eastern.
So
from my background is from Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah. So my dad's side of the family lives out in Kuwait. They've always lived out there. So after the divorce, my dad wanted us to move out to Kuwait. So my sisters and I moved out there with my dad. And it was just pretty rough, honestly, at first, because one, I had to go to an all-girls school for like that last semester between and transitioning of schools and all that. And then although it was an American school, most of them were still of Kuwaiti descent, and there weren't really too many other backgrounds or those coming from the US, so I kind of felt like out of place. And then again, being at an all-girls school, which was still a huge shock compared to how I was normally raised and grew up with. And then after that, the following year, I went to another American school, but that was more diverse, and it was also co-ed, so it didn't feel like as out of place. Definitely got to meet a lot of great people, and I still keep in contact with them to this day, which is nice. But I don't know if I would honestly go back. I don't think I would ever go back to live there.
So is that as bad as mainstream media makes it out to be? Or like, I always try to find like, so my dad was military and I grew up in Berlin, Germany, right? And so I'm not foreign to living in a different country where a lot of people never left their neighborhood. So, but I also know that on TV, things get painted in a certain, where we're like, bro, it wasn't even like that. Like, shit was dope. And you know what I mean? And so I don't know because I've never been to
I would definitely say that media always paints a bad picture of the Middle East and of Arabs and all of that stuff. And it's really not like that. Honestly, Kuwait itself is such a beautiful country. But I just wouldn't really go back to live there because I feel like it's harder almost as a woman, at least, to be able to build and brand yourself. Now, there are a lot of women out there who are, have jobs and like work at pharmacies, whatever it is. But I feel like the opportunities here in the States are easier to work with, and there are more opportunities no matter what age you're at over here versus over there. I feel like you have to kind of go through a certain level of education and all that stuff in order to get the type of job that you want.
So not really like entrepreneurs or not women.
Not from what I've seen, at least.
Gotcha.
And what I had experienced. But I was also in high school at the time, so I didn't really get to go out and experience things as much.
And you came here when? Senior?
Yeah, then I moved back to Maryland senior year. And then right after senior year, we moved out to Arizona with my mom and my sisters. So.
How many sisters? 2
younger sisters. I'm the oldest.
Oh, okay. So you lead the way. I see what you're doing out here. And Jordan, your dad's from?
Yeah, both my parents are from Jordan.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure it out in my head, and I was like
what
I was like, she's other. And not in like a disrespectful.
No, I know.
I was just like, yo, this is something else. And I couldn't, usually I could be like, oh, this person's from Russia or they're from
everybody always
like,
thinks that I'm mixed. I always get different things all the time. So it's interesting to see what people think of what race I am.
When you say mixed, you mean like just in general? Yeah,
just in general. Some people think I'm like, I get like white and Hispanic, or I get like black and white, or I get, because of like all my curls and my waves in my hair. And then I also
keep those.
And then I also I've gotten like Russian. I've gotten like
yeah, one of my friends
Persian.
thought you were Russian.
Yeah,
she was like, my guess is she's Russian. I said, she's not Russian. No. I don't even believe that.
Yeah, I get like all these different types of things.
I could see Persian though.
Yeah, I've gotten like Persian a lot.
I could see that.
Yeah, I just get, a lot of people do think that I'm like Hispanic or anything. I'm like, No, I'm not.
So do you speak, what is the like, is Arabic?
Mhm.
So you speak
Arabic.
like fluent?
Yeah, I can speak Arabic fluently.
Okay, that's
Mhm.
pretty dope.
Yeah, it's nice to have that second language for sure. I tried learning Spanish. I know the basics of it.
See or no?
See.
That's it. So
No.
Freddie B, who you just met, his wife is
Mhm.
Hispanic.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I had met her at boxing. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. She was aggressive. She thought you was right. But you ain't hear that from me. You know what I'm saying? So, but with your brand then, and your experience in Kuwait,
Mhm.
and the fact that you still keep in contact with people there, are they now like kind of jumping on your? I ain't gonna call it bandwagon. Are they kind of like adapting into your community then? Because for you to say like, hey, women over there can't do these things,
Yeah.
are you kind of like, hey, let's follow her because she's over there doing it and kind of planting the seeds for?
Well, actually, when I was there, a lot of people always told me, like, even when I was younger, that I'm like a very motivating person. I just always have an optimistic and positive view on life, honestly. And a lot of my friends would look and tell me that, like, like you can be super motivating and get us in, like, let's say in contact, all that stuff. And a lot of them, I think a few of them still live there, but most of them were originally from other countries, from like Lebanon, all that stuff. So a lot of them actually moved back either to Lebanon, some moved out to the UK, some moved out to the States actually. So I feel like, yeah, some of them they definitely see what I'm doing. They recognize it. They're huge supporters with what I'm doing. And I mean, the fields that they're in are a little bit different than what I'm doing in terms of.
Are they like nurses?
Yeah, some of them are actually like doing nursing. Yeah, stuff like that. So in a way, like, yeah, we just keep each other motivated, but I wouldn't say that they're following what I'm doing in a sense, because they're doing something completely different.
So when people find out, or if you tell people like, hey, I'm from Jordan or I speak Arabic or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
do people treat you differently once they know? Or are they just like, man, that's cool?
No, honestly, no. Nobody treats me differently because of that.
Good.
Yeah, like we just kind of build that relationship, and they think that it's like pretty cool too. They're like, oh, like teach us a word, or like how do you say this, or how do you say that? And
you can give us the word of the day.
I'm gonna say hello, marhaba. Okay, there's another word you can say it. Ahlan.
Wait, do that one more time.
Ahlan.
Helen?
No, ahlan.
Helen.
Close. Yeah. we'll get you there.
I'm about to be on this, yo. Like,
eventually we'll be starting off his podcast with ahlan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. How did you do that?
So it's like AHLEN. Ahlan.
Ahlan.
Len.
Ahlan.
Yeah. Like say like almost like lane. Len. Say it like LEN, like stretch the E.
Ahlan.
Ahlan.
Oh man. It sounds great.
We'll get there.
I just am trash at it, obviously.
No, we'll get there eventually.
So we're gonna pay a bill or two and we'll come back and we're gonna talk about the 75 days.
Yes.
Yes.
75 hard.
70. See or no?
See.
Okay. How you say yes in Arabic?
Yes. Well, a lot of people say ah. Yeah.
I could say that right there. So we'll be back in a second. Yeah.
Okay. This is going great so far.
Yeah, it's good stuff. This is still recording, so this is like behind the scenes that other people don't get.
Okay, this is cool.
So the audio people only get the 30 and 30. They don't get the in between while we're paying bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, that's cool. Like world travel.
Yeah, I'd love to just travel, honestly.
Where else have you been? Let's talk about it.
Been to Hawaii. That's literally my top favorite place.
Is it?
Yeah, I went on a cruise, so it was nice to go to all the different islands. That was a whole different experience. I've been to, places in the States. I've been to Washington. I've been to New Jersey, New York.
Wait, Washington State?
Yeah, Washington State.
That's where I'm from.
Washington State?
I was born there.
thought you were born in Germany.
No, I was raised in Germany. So I was born in Washington, and like right after I was born,
After Germany.
So my childhood, as they say, formative years was Germany.
So how long did you live there for?
8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
How was that experience?
It was great because I was there like when the wall was up, and I was there when it came down. So I was part of history. I didn't know it was history at the time. I didn't care.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want to play with my friends. And my mom's like, no, we're going down there. You're a part of history. You're going to remember this for the rest of your life. And then I moved back to Washington when my parents got divorced. And when I was in high school, it was in the history book. So I'm in class like, yo, I was there. And they were like, bruh, no, you wasn't. I'm like, yes, I was. I promise. And so the teacher didn't believe me. No one in class believed me. And then, so I went home that day. I came back the next day with pictures and pieces of the wall, stuff that I have. And I was
like, here's my evidence. Believe me now.
And then they respect the gangster after that. They was like, oh, okay, yeah, you really was there. But,
yeah, just like we're a part of history right now with this whole pandemic.
That's true.
Yeah.
Except for I haven't been marching.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I was like, it's like there has to be something else.
And
so I go the more economic route. I've been on Instagram searching like Black businesses for everything.
Yeah.
And just like, this is my homeboy's show company. So BAD actually stands for Believers and Dreamers.
I like that.
Yeah, so, and he's in Washington. So like, if I'm not wearing my stuff, I'm wearing somebody that I know. And that's like where I found like dope, like skincare, body wash, oral care, like Black owned. And I now just order stuff online. Detergent, everything.
Yeah, it's always great to have that support and stuff for your community, always.
Yeah, but we're not taught that.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that's part of the shift is like people are waking up to like, hey bro, like we don't own nothing. So
how do you feel like this will change, like maybe 10 years from now?
Well, I think in 10 years, there will be definitely more businesses, like even brick and mortar. But I think like your generation is more like, let's go. Like this is not, well, that this is not right.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna just turn and act like we didn't see it.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? It's like, I think in my generation was a little bit of like, oh yeah, things are cool. Stuff happens here and there, but like, we can hang out. It's cool.
Yeah.
And then that wake up call was like, and you guys, so one of the ladies that goes to the gym, her daughter is like, I think Bella's like 14. And she's just all about it. Like at the marches, posting online, like she's 14.
That's great, honestly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I see the difference. And then you have the entrepreneurial side where I think a lot of people think they want this, but they don't realize how difficult it really is. And so it's like, okay, it's one thing to say it, and so I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm like, listen, man,
there's a lot that goes behind it. It's not like you're going to be that overnight success or overnight millionaire. Where you see people, how they are now, takes years of consistency, determination, discipline. That's the most important thing. If you're not disciplined, you're not going to get far.
And what you said earlier, which was sacrifice.
Yeah, and sacrifice.
And people don't, that's the part that they don't see, or the ups, I call it the trenches and it's peaks and valleys, right?
Yeah.
But you spend most of your time in the valley digging through the trenches, and then something happens, there's a peak.
Exactly.
But people see you at the peak and like, I want that. And I was like, yeah, but you don't know what it took.
No, and people will still kind of neglect how far you gotten and the things and work that you put in there. And I've come like a long way, and I continue to still go a long way. Like I will sacrifice sometimes going out with friends, like every now and then. It's not like, yeah, sure, of course having a social life is important. I do have one, but I always prioritize myself and building my business because I don't want to be working for somebody the rest of my life.
But that mentality is what makes you guys different. Pause.
Yeah.
Right there. What up, beautiful people? I'm back with young Serina in the building, Miss 22. What it do? So we're back. We're talking about being entrepreneurs and the mindset of a 22-year-old, which is different because you said I don't want to work for somebody else.
No.
We're like, we were taught, you go work for somebody forever. And hopefully one day, maybe
Possibly.
you can retire or have a 401k or whatever, right? And so for me, I always had something in me that was like, I don't like this. I don't like this working for people. I don't like that I'm great at something, but you benefit off of it more than I do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And so for you to have that mindset at a great number 22, because I love the number, but I think that is major as far as your mindset, because the rest is just a journey.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and a lot of people are like, nah, it's just easier to just work for somebody. And I'm like, nah, bro.
Yeah, I mean, some people are fine with that. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you do at the end of the day. But at the end, working for yourself, being your own boss, having that financial freedom as well will definitely pay off. It's not going to pay off within the first few months or the year or maybe even 2 years. It will take discipline. It'll take the hard work and time. Like I spend hours putting in the work. Sometimes I used to wake up at 4 in the morning and I'd have classes that day all day. Wake up at 4 in the morning, study what I need to study, get that out of the way, go work out because I have to work out and have to sacrifice, even if it's a 30-minute workout. I will still fit that in my schedule because working out gives me that mental clarity as well. If I'm just constantly sitting and studying for 16, 17 hours straight, I'm not going to function anymore, period. So I'll do my workout. I would go to school for, let's say I would have 4 or 5 classes, finish the classes, stay after my classes, go to the library, sit and study for more hours. Sometimes I wouldn't come home from school until almost 11, 12 o'clock at night. And then just wake up and repeat, honestly, because I want that discipline that I have for myself. I want to get far. I don't want to just kind of take my time and take things slowly. And then once I graduate, then try and find a job within my domain. I don't want to sit and do that. If I sit and do that, then it's going to take me forever to actually build myself. So what I always tell myself is I should be graduating next spring with my bachelor's in psychology. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. So I always tell myself I'm going to be graduating with my business. And what I mean by that is as soon as I graduate with my bachelor's, my business is going to be higher up. It's going to be more established. I'm going to be able to connect to more people, change more lives, impact others in a positive way, and continue to build from there. I do plan on doing my master's right after as well, so I'm not really taking much of a break in between that time. But I know that this is just all temporary. It'll pay off, and I always like to be better and do better. I can't just get to a certain point or a certain level of education and stop there. That's just not in my mentality. That's just not in my DNA, basically, to just do that. If I feel like I'm repeating the same thing over and over for an extended period of time, okay, you have to educate yourself more. Go read more books. Go listen to a podcast. I'm always talking to myself in third person too, because I can't just settle for that stagnant level of growth. I have to get much further than that. And it's always a work in progress. And I always tell people success is not a finish line. You're not going to get to the finish line of quote unquote success and then stop there. Success is something that you're always continuously creating new goals for yourself. It's always, just building yourself and becoming the best version of yourself. And that best version of yourself comes with, again, creating new goals, finding new things, because you're not going to get to success and be like, oh, I'm successful, and stop there. Well, guess what? If you stop there, then you're not going to get far in anything else.
It doesn't work. It's the same as with, when people work out and they say, hey, help me. I'm like, I got you. Well, I'm getting ready for a wedding. I'm like, that's cute. So what are you going to do after that? Because that day is going to come and go. And 99% of the people who don't have a plan after that day, whether it's a vacation or a wedding, they fall all the way off because it was the one thing that was driving them.
Yeah.
And they hit it. And it's like what you said earlier, we pretty much speak the same language. My mindset is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I don't like the word diet. I tell people that all the time. I don't like it because it has the word die in it. And I think that's just negative. Period. People can say whatever, but I'm like, You can do all the 21 days and the 3-day cleanses and the whatever, but until you put your mind into lifestyle, then you're not in a rush trying to, right? Like I've been vegan for almost 4 years, but I didn't go from eating meat to vegan. It was like a progression. Like slowly this happened, this happened, this happened. And the closer I got to the lifestyle, I was like, I think I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to prove some people wrong who said you can't like build muscle and like, right? So it's like the mindset is the driving thing. The entrepreneur, the sacrifice, the like, and there's a bunch of stuff like people don't even know, like the heartbreaks and all this stuff comes with it. Like,
everything.
It's like, this chapter is about some evil people who try to steal my brand. Like, it's always going to be something, but you have the right mindset, so that's powerful. And speaking of all of that, you were telling me about 75 days of ridiculousness.
So if you guys are not familiar with Andy Frisella's 75 Hard Challenge, so what it basically is for 75 days straight, you have to drink a gallon of water daily.
Water, check.
You have to read 10 pages of a self-development book daily. It can't be an audiobook. You have to physically take a book and read 10 pages.
All right.
You have to take a progress picture every single day because you have to kind of keep to your word of what you say you're going to do. You have to do 2 45-minute workouts. They cannot be consecutive. So you can't go work out for an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever. Has 2 45-minute workouts, and one workout has to be outdoors.
What if you live somewhere like Alaska and it's snowing?
Doesn't matter.
It's cold.
That's the whole point, is to have that discipline and that drive. You don't have to go run outside. Just go outside in your backyard and do that workout. So that's 4 things. No cheat meals, no alcohol. So you have to follow a consistent diet that works with your goals, whether it's fat loss, whether it's bulking, whatever it is. You have to follow a specific type of diet or just a specific type of meal plan.
Okay. And you said you was going to go vegan for 75 days.
So
now I'm even more intrigued.
So I decided not only do I want to mentally and physically challenge myself with that challenge. Oh, and if you miss any of those.
There's more.
Always. If you miss any of those, if you forget to take a picture and you're on day 30, you have to start over regardless.
So I did a challenge like this. It wasn't as intense, right? Mm-hmm. But it was 100 videos in 100 days.
Okay. 100 videos of what?
100 live videos on Instagram for 100 days straight. And if you miss a day, you start back off.
So and
I did like 100. I stopped. This is gonna sound funny, but I stopped at 122.
Okay, because 22 is your favorite number.
Yeah. But it was a challenge. Someone threw it at me. I took it on, and I don't necessarily know. Like, it was cool. But I wasn't like, I learned this from that. It was just kind of like getting a routine of going live. And then when I was done, I was done. But so, anyways.
Yeah, that's definitely good to always challenge yourself. But anyways, the whole point of doing that challenge is to mentally and physically challenge yourself to stay disciplined. Because a lot of us say we're going to do something, we don't end up doing it. Which is why even down to the simplest thing, if you forget to take a picture, you have to start over. It's keeping that commitment to your word, to what you said you're going to do. That's what the whole point of the challenge is. And because I want to take that extra step and challenge myself even more, I decided that I'm going to go vegan for those 75 days. And honestly, I might just continue being vegan afterwards, because I have a lot of friends who are vegan, and I've done like research on it and how people say it gives you more mental clarity.
That's true.
Yeah, it's just better for your health overall, because you're feeding your body with more foods that are alive, for example. So I was like, if I'm going to put myself through this challenge, I might as well go that extra mile, because I like to challenge myself, and go vegan. So I got a vegan cookbook yesterday, actually.
What's it called?
It was high protein vegan plan or whatever for athletes, because I like to focus my nutrition based off of high protein. So I decided to go down that route. So I just got it today. So I'm super excited. Gonna get some recipes and stuff for it, and then start cooking tomorrow.
There you go.
Meal prepping and everything. So I know I'm going to transform physically and mentally with this. I'm super excited to see how all of this will definitely go. And I decided to create, because I'm all about creating a team and community. I posted it on my Instagram stories, my Snapchat stories, and told people about the challenge and if they wanted to be part of my accountability team. So now I have about 10 people who decided to join, and we're all going to keep each other accountable. Some people were like, I don't know if I can drop my alcohol or whatever, because no alcohol during this period.
That's why you gotta do it.
Well, I told them, control the substance, do not let the substance control you. That is super, super important, because you get so dependent on these external things, whether it's food or drugs or alcohol, or even just addicted to a certain type of feeling based off of any activities that you're doing, that you get so caught up and dependent on it that you need to take a step back and detox and realize that your feelings, all that, come from within. It's not because you're drinking, it's not because you're smoking, it's not because of any of those external things. So I'm super excited to start this challenge.
So this will end in what, August, September?
September, beginning of September. I think it was like September 5th or something. I know it's gonna fall on a Saturday.
So well, how are you gonna celebrate? Or just like, I did it. Next.
I would probably create a new challenge for myself right after, and I'm gonna see how the whole vegan process definitely goes, and if I like it, I'll probably, like I said, continue down that
route. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna corrupt your 75 days, but I know some good but bad vegan foods out there that are phenomenal.
Yeah, maybe after the 75 days.
That's what I said. When it's done, I'll be like, hey, try this. I'll be like, hey, try this.
Yeah.
But there's some, it's not that difficult anymore, though.
Yeah, because there's a lot of alternatives.
There's a lot. It's just people don't want to unlearn. People are afraid to go against their nationality, the way they eat, or you know what. People don't want to unlearn. It's like, this is comfortable. This is what I've been taught. This is what it is. Yeah. It's like, bro, try something new. And the more you try new things, it's like the one thing I give my dad, rest in peace, credit for is like growing up in Germany, we traveled every summer.
Yeah.
Whether I wanted to go or not. But it opened my mind of like, there's different people in the world. There's different places. They operate different. And it's the same with food. Like, just because you were raised on this doesn't mean
that you have to follow it by the book.
And it doesn't take away that, like, black people do this shit all the time. It's like, oh, you don't eat this, you're not black, bro. What? That don't even make sense.
Yeah, like there's a lot of stereotypes and everything that goes behind like cultural practices and everything. And it's important to be also multicultural, because you have to learn how to adapt to different situations. You never know. One day you might have to end up moving to a whole new country for a job. Like you might not even know that it's gonna be coming your way, whatever it is. And you have to learn how to adapt with people, with food, with a lifestyle. And again, I lived out of the state. I lived out of the country. So I had to learn how to adapt. Was it easy at first? No, it was not. But afterwards, I had to find some sort of way to adapt to the lifestyle that there was there. So it's all about practice.
That is true. I was listening to you and I'm like, yeah. So this time last year, I was in Greece.
Nice. How was Greece?
Oh my God. My heart still hurts because we're supposed to be there right now. Like right now.
That's
so I
nice.
host a fitness retreat in Greece every year. Last year was my first year, me and my business partner. And it's yoga and fitness. So we do the meditating and all that stuff. Her family's from this small island called Ithaca, and it was heaven on earth. It was a magical, there's not enough words for the feeling, for the food, the water, the experience, the people. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of photos of Greece and it just looks absolutely stunning. Like I would definitely like to visit Greece.
And
Italy.
being vegan though, French fries.
French fries are always the way to go. Honestly.
It was like, but do you have fries though? And they was
always.
Like, so this island is only like 3,500 people.
Oh, that's it?
And her family lineage is from the island. So it was like we went home to her home, and they just, like when I do really live, nice. When I was doing Instagram live workouts, some of them would tune in and say hi. And so like, yeah, right now, we were supposed to be there 2 days ago.
That sucks. But, you know, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
so,
next year is going to be even more fire. So it's like,
damn, I might have to join.
you should come. I'm serious. Like, I'll send you the link on. I'm going to send you a video I made of the whole. So we did 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I'll send you a video of, like, we recorded a bunch of stuff and I just trimmed it down to like 8 minutes.
Yeah, it would be cool to see that.
The people, the water, the food, though. Even being vegan, the food was just like, what are we eating? What are we eating over here? Because this is the same food, but not. Like, everything's fresh. They always serve like watermelon with every
that sounds
meal.
Really
There was a bakery. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a father and his 2 sons or three sons. At like 4 a.m, they would start rolling the dough. Like, they making this stuff from scratch. And we would be at the little bar.
Mm-hmm.
So we walking back to the hotel. And they always say, my friend. I said, my friend. And he's like, what would you like? And we're like, bro, it's 4 a.m. He's like, no, my friend, just. And they would make us, I forgot what it's called, but like this certain type of food at 4 a.m. before they even open. And
that sounds so good.
So every night we was like, bro, we staying out till 4 on purpose. We're gonna go back there again. You know what I mean? And it was just like to get away from like we talk about the grind and I'm not a fan of the word actually. But that's just my own thing because
why is that?
I spent years of my life grinding. And I'm not a fan of like this whole like team no sleep and like, I have to operate at a high level, teaching classes, training people, doing like whatever. So I exert a lot of energy. So me not sleeping, although it's something I struggle with, I don't sleep much. I'm not a fan of that message of the grind.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the grind. I'm not a fan of the messages that are intertwined with like, you just don't sleep and go hard and no days off. And I'm like, bro, no, your body will shut down on you because of that. And so
that is very true. I've experienced that myself. I used to be like, no days off. Like, I don't care if I'm asleep. Sometimes I would sleep 3-4 hour weeks. Like, and I just eventually crashed. I'm like, I could not do this anymore. I could not mentally function anymore. Physically, my body was just always so exhausted. I'm like, okay, obviously this is not working, which is why, because I have like a theme on my Instagram too for every day of the week. So I created Self-Care Sunday. So I always preach how you should take days off to relax. Oh, that's a good idea.
I got you.
Yeah, so I always say it's super important to take a day to rest and renew. It doesn't even have to be the whole day, but just at least like half a day, whatever, to either catch up on sleep, spend time with your friends, with your family, spend time with yourself. Because if you really don't sleep or, you know, take care of yourself, you will crash. Like, you cannot say otherwise, honestly. Yeah. I've experienced it. Many other people have experienced it because your body eventually will need that time to like recover. You need time to process everything that you just learned. You need time to recover your body. If you're just constantly putting all this stress on it, it's just going to be like, all right, you want to do this to me, then I'm just going to completely shut off.
Oh, I'm going to lay you down. I ended up in the emergency room.
Damn, to that
because
point.
Because of that, yeah. So briefly, I used to live in Miami. I worked South Beach in like the hottest clubs in Miami. I used to do like modeling shit and music videos and TV show. I was doing it all. Still in school and still training people. So you talking about no days off, no sleep. Miami don't sleep anyway. Yacht parties during the day, like, but I wasn't doing that with a purpose. I was just in my own world. Right? Sometimes I don't know how I got home, just drive and fall asleep, whatever. So then when I realized like fitness is the thing, like this is my light bulb moment, I gotta do something with this. And I moved to Arizona with a suitcase essentially. And I told my friend who talked me into moving here, I was like, bro, I'm about to be grinding. And I was teaching like 25 classes a week, just in different places though. So I'm driving over here. Some days I drive to this gym when I'm supposed to be at this gym. And one day Sunday was my only day off. So 25 workouts in 6 days.
That's crazy.
And one day I'm in this restaurant. I was in a Paradise Cafe or something. I used to live out in the West Valley. And I just passed out.
Yeah, you will just crash. So learn from our mistakes. If you're on that no sleep grind.
Don't believe the hype, yo.
Yeah.
So now, like typically aside from like this, like a podcast or something, Sundays are like my me day where I don't even really post. And I know that might mess up someone's algorithm. I don't care. I'm like, leave me alone. I just be chilling. I might watch something. I might listen to audio. I might be reading. I'm just like, I need a day or some time for me because I'm a giver and I give and give and give.
Yeah, you have to have that balance of energy.
Yeah. So that's why, long story long, the grind, I'm like, listen. But I was also grinding for what I thought I wanted and grinding for other people's stuff. Where now my grind is about what I want and it's a little bit different. But still, I was like, well, if I work that hard for someone else,
you can even go more for yourself. And when you do it for yourself too, you even have like a harder drive for it because you're very passionate about what you're doing, and it becomes that you're doing it with lots of love. And when you do anything with love, you're able to actually not only progress more, but also attract people into your life to help you out with certain things as well. The universe.
It's facts. I don't live here. I got a key. I'm here every day with the kids. I train their kids. They were going to go to Greece with us, but I'm still stuck on that. But like, they offered this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the wife was like, look at me, you did this. I'm like, well, you did it, but let me help you. So we film in here.
Yeah, and that's a blessing, and honestly, within itself.
Every day. Like, come here. The girl made me pancakes this morning.
That's nice.
She's 10.
Yeah.
So you get to help wherever they're like, I'm working. She's like, here, I'll make this. I brought some vegan pancake mix. I got you. If you
That's nice.
But so you're right.
Yeah.
Right? The right people come around at the right time. Because a lot of the time I was doing it alone. And alone. Or I was dealing with snakes.
Yeah. And that's how you learn too, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you have to learn the hard way.
Yeah. But the mission doesn't change.
No.
And that's why when someone has a vision, like how you have a vision, it makes it a whole lot easier because I can say, hey, watch for this, or just now I whisper to you, put that on a t-shirt. And you're like, oh, because I'm the help. Like, yo, I've been through it. I'm not saying I'm uber successful making whatever, but I'm like, when you have something and you build a community, then it's that whole, if you build it, they will come. People want to be a part of something.
Always. I say that all the time.
If you have Self-Care Sunday, I'm telling you, you got a logo.
Yeah, I do have a logo, actually.
Put your logo on the back, put it on.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Bruh, I'm telling you. Because there's no point in me withholding information. I've been doing this for a long time. There's no point in me being like, I'm not going to tell her that. I'm like, because you got a community and you're building. So, hey, do this. It might be them 10 people at first. 10 will get you 20, though.
Yeah.
And 20 will get you 100. And then before you know it, Self-Care Sunday is a thing.
Yeah,
like even more. You know what I'm saying? So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate the tips and everything for sure.
I help as best I can.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say it's super important to build a team and community and to stand behind your word, because a lot of people also, they go on social media and they lose their authenticity. And I think it's so, so important to always keep that authenticity as you build yourself and not to let your ego get in the way of things. Because at the end of the day, we all have an ego. Nobody can sit there and down like, I'm not egotistical. But to an extent, we all are. Whether you're using your ego for something beneficial or whether it's coming out in a different way. But it's important to, when you do things, do it out of love, out of trying to provide value for other people. And I think value is the most important thing that you can give to somebody. like for all the stuff that I'm posting and putting in time and effort on my Instagram, I'm not getting paid for it. I'm not getting sponsored for it yet.
Yeah.
A lot of people will DM me like, oh, are you doing this? Like, are you getting paid for this? I'm like, I'm just working and doing things for myself. And when people DM me asking me questions about fitness, nutrition, relationships, advice, anything, I do it and I give it to them with love and passion, because why would I not want to help you? The whole point of me creating this brand and creating this community is to be able to provide value for you, for me to be able to learn from you, and for you to be able to learn from me. Like, I've learned a lot of things from people who are supporting me, or people who are just DMing me, asking me questions, and vice versa. It's all about giving and taking and just helping each other grow. That's literally everything.
I mean, amen. I don't know what
Yeah.
else to say. You know what I mean? However, it is said that, you know, pride and ego come before destruction. So you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Right, with that. But aside from that, because we have to go. We're almost done.
Okay.
But we can do this again. We'll follow you in 75
for
days.
Sure. Yeah, we definitely have to do that.
Like,
I'm super excited for this, honestly.
And so let the people know. I will put this in the description, but let them know where they can find you if you want them to. If you don't.
No, you can definitely find me on social media. So Instagram, Facebook. My Instagram is at mindbodygains_fitness, and the gains is spelled GAINZ, not with an S.
Put the Z.
Yeah.
And the underscore.
So mindbodygains_fitness. Facebook, just mindbodygains_fitness. Yeah, those are. I use Instagram way more. I just link everything to Facebook. So that's the best way to definitely get in touch with me if you're interested in doing any sort of collabs, you know, just helping each other grow. Like I said, creating that community. Feel free to reach out. I'm very approachable.
She'll knock you out too, though. So I don't know. I'm trying to think. Do you have a website?
I'm in the process of building my website, but it is mindbodygainsfitness.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the domain, everything, currently building the website. So I'd say follow up in about 2 weeks or so. It should be up.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to leave them with?
No, just stay positive, self-reflect, provide value to others, and yeah, thank you for having me on this podcast.
Sure.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I seen you hit the bag. I was like, she gotta come. Don't let that fool you. See that right there? The smile and the dimples, she'll knock you out. And that's the setup. It's right there. Anyways, so shout out to Serina coming through one time. Wait, how you say bye again?
You could say masalame. You got
I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah, by next time I'll be done with 75 words. We'll have some.
And I'll have one word.
We'll have a few words.
Okay.
I'll teach you a few words. It'll be good.
Yeah, I got some work to do, obviously, beautiful people. Anyways, we're going to get out of here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man.
Thank you.
Yes, make sure y'all follow her on IG and the whole nine, and I'll see y'all. We out of here. Peace, love,
Bye.
and fire ants. You know how we do. Yay.